Hello guys, hello. Hopefully we are hearing each other, which means you can hear me because I obviously cannot hear you. It's normal. It's normal that we are streaming on YouTube and I cannot hear you. Hopefully also you cannot hear my laptop because my laptop is crazy noisy. But if you can hear it, then you will know that it's crazy noisy, which is great because now you will know. What are we doing here? We are doing this kind of orc. This is not the great Nico. Who has arrived is just Nico here because Nico today is not great. It doesn't mean I'm bad or something, but I'm with my laptop, which usually is a little bit more uncomfortable to stream from. But I decided that I can do it because it's not a huge issue for me to stream, and I know some people are expecting the stream with great anticipation, or I don't know, probably they are anticipating it or waiting for it, I don't know. Okay, today we will do this orc by what I imagine is a Greek artist, but he is very good, probably the best Greek artist I've seen in my whole life, in the universe also. So yeah, he's pretty good. We may say that, yeah. And this is the orc. By the way, I have some problems. Let me check this out now. This is the brush, clay strips, and we have to check this. Okay, this box. I don't know if you see the chat here in the screen, but I decided to put it on because otherwise I have to change between YouTube and Blender and to see the chat, but now I can see it immediately. So I can always answer and communicate with you guys, with all of you. As you can see, my camera again is not the best camera ever, but this is because... Why? Because it's the laptop, of course. The laptop cameras are not great. Also, I haven't decided to get another camera for where I'm traveling, which I probably should do at some point, but I'm not traveling all the time, only the summer. Yeah, summer is a travel time, you know, traveling in the summer a lot. And now I am in some rural area in the Balkans mountains in Bulgaria, in kind of an old house, but it has internet, which is great. And the family is going to a pool to swim, and I decided to, you know, do a little stream in that time to take advantage of the time that they're going to the pool. The not so great Nico fan, yeah, that's him, the not so great one. You cannot always expect the great Nico, you know, only sometimes, rarely. And also Nico, I don't know if you can imagine that, but he's a human being. He's very similar to all of you guys, except for a lot of practice and a lot of professional things that I have done. But otherwise, as a person, not so different than most. We are human, we have our flaws, we have our problems, like everybody has problems. Some has little problems, some have bigger. But as long as we are alive and healthy, as we say here in Bulgaria, we should be fine, right? But if we are not healthy, then it's a problem, or it could be. Let's make this kind of things here. This is his beard, and he has also a beard here. All right, let's do inflation here, and we'll make the eyes there, but still first let's make some teeth. So this will be our first tooth. As you can see, it's amazing. This is the most rounded tooth that you have ever seen, I guess. Now it's better, so we are making it nicer and nicer as we go. We put a mirror modifier, and then we are doing this thing, which is kind of putting the teeth where we want them. They should be a little bit sharper, I guess. Can't wait to use Blender on my iPad, that's for sure. Yeah, because you are one of the blessed ones that you have iPad. We don't have that pleasure. That's why we don't care, at least I don't care about the Blender for iPad, because I don't own iPad. iPads are relatively expensive tools. And I would say for the money, for one iPad, you can buy a simple laptop. You can buy, maybe the iPad will be a little bit more powerful than the laptop actually, which is strange, but still. But you can buy a desktop PC even, a decent one, I guess, for the price of a good iPad. So I'm not that excited about iPad Blender. Maybe if they do Blender for Android devices, then I will be more excited. But still, I have a laptop, so I don't care that much. And my laptop is pretty powerful, although pretty noisy. But, you know, sometimes you have to exchange power for noise and vice versa. If you want very silent laptop, probably will not be the most powerful one, but it will be silent. I don't care about silent, I care about power. Power, 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 power. So yeah, power is good. We like it. If Retopo on my face is 90 degrees shape, it's I select middle vertex and click F, then feel like a triangle, not feel like a square. How to fix this? Like you do. Probably you should go and just turn on F2 add-on, and it should be alright. The F2 add-on is pretty important for that, for manual retopology. I started retopologizing some freelance right now. I probably will show you guys if you want. But the idea of the retopology is that you have to start it, and then at some point you will probably make it work. In the beginning, especially if you are a beginner or not so advanced artist, maybe, the retopology will not be great, but you will probably learn from your mistakes, and the next one will be better, the next one will be better, and then eventually at some point you will have enough experience to call yourself a retopology artist, because as you can see, the 3D artists will become only retopology artists because the AI refused to make retopology. It only wants to make creative stuff, because AI is not stupid. You know, if AI was stupid, it would do retopology, but now it's not stupid and it wants to do creative. So, yeah, we are messed up and fucked and everything else, but I think should be fine. It's a 3D work, right? Retopology or not, it's fine. We can do it. We can do all. Fast teeth positioning, important. Let's take another piece of tooth, put it down, rotate it. And those will be smaller and a little bit like forward pointing. Like this, yes. Not so much, probably a little bit like this, yeah. And let's see. This one should be bigger, make it bigger. And there should be like backwards ones, like this and like this. And they probably should be wider and not so sharp. I don't know. There are animals with only sharp tooth in their mouth or teeth, but most animals, especially mammals, they have sharp ones in the front, and the back ones are not that sharp because they're not for tearing, they're for chewing. So the front ones are for tearing the prey, and the back ones are for chewing it. So tearing, chewing, you know, it's another type of madness. Is there any 3D related university course in Bulgaria? Do you recommend anything studying in Bulgaria? In Bulgaria, studying is fine. I don't know how it's in the normal universities, in the normal ones. I don't know, but we have Arc Academy, where I was teaching before they threw me out because some of the students they wrote me a bad review because they were not coming to the classes, they were not giving nice homeworks, they were just giving homeworks for like 20 minutes, made something which is not respectable to anybody, especially to me. So I was a little bit rough to them, and that's why they wrote me bad reviews. And the guys from the Arc Academy just threw me out without asking me what happened, which was a little bit, you know, sad. But sometimes those things happen. So, but the Arc Academy has a lot of very great teachers from the industry. A lot of people from the industry are teachers there. And if you want to learn, you can learn a lot. Of course, it's not cheap. It's kind of expensive. But, of course, and people, by the way, some people are thinking where they go when they pay this kind of money, they don't have to do anything else. They don't have to practice, they don't have to do the homeworks, they don't have to even go to class. And all the knowledge of the universe will be poured into their heads with a funnel, which usually is not the case, but especially they think that that's the case. And of course, they are young and stupid usually, but some other people, they are also young, but not stupid. And they're working hard, they're doing their homeworks, they're putting time and effort. And at the end, who at the end is having the possibility to go to work as a junior artist somewhere in the game companies? You can imagine who, right? So yeah, don't expect when you pay some kind of money to not work. You will have to put the effort and the time in order to do something relatively nice. Hello, Nico. Do you use tablet or just mouse? I use tablet and mouse. Amazing, right? When I'm modeling, usually I'm using the mouse. When I'm sculpting, I'm usually using the tablet. It's rarely I'm using the tablet for modeling or mouse for sculpting, but sometimes I'm using the tablet for Retopology, for example, which is kind of a modeling thing. So sometimes it happens. It could happen. I'm going slightly mad. I'm going slightly mad. It's finally happened. Okay, the shoulders have to be a little bit more wide, and it's gonna be a great ogre or orc, whatever you call it, whatever you wanna call it. Who you gonna call? Orc bastards. How do you print your figure? Resin or filament? Resin. Hi Nico, I wanted to thank you. Thanks to you, your live streams and YouTube lessons, I recently got my first job as a 3D character artist. That's not good. Why? I will tell you. Because if you can do it only with the YouTube videos and the live streams, then you are not buying my courses. And if you can find a job even without buying my courses, then it's not good for me, because I will die from hunger, right? Yeah. So, but other than that, it's great that you have done that. I mean, it's amazing. But it's not me you have to thank. You have to thank yourself. Why? Because there are a lot of people watching my YouTube videos, even my courses, and they don't get good. Why? They don't put the time and effort to become good, right? So you have to only thank yourself that you have put this time and effort to become better and better version of yourself. Amazing, right? Let's see this. What is this? A cylinder. What is this cylinder doing here? It will be the belt. We'll have something like a belt here. We can make this guy just until this point. So, yeah, just a bust. Because if we have to do everything, it will be a little bit too much. But let's see. At least let's do some arms. I like to do arms. That's why I will do arms. I'm using 4.5 Blender. By the way, 4.5, many people are saying it's faster with the Vulkan engine. Of course, I know. I've enabled the Vulkan, which you have to do from the preferences. But even with the Vulkan and everything, it's the difference between the old and new Blender, I mean 4.5 and 4.4, for example, it's not that huge, I would say, for me at least. When you start working with tens of millions of polygons, especially if you have mirror modifier, which is, by the way, the mirror modifier is messing up the things a lot, then it starts to lag. If you disable the mirror modifier, then maybe sometimes it happens. It's getting better, but the mirror modifier is still a bad guy. Especially when you go to more polygons. So remember, when you have a lot of polygons and you have to sculpt them and it's lagging, remember, disable the mirror modifier, sculpt, and then enable it again. It will not be a problem. If the symmetry, I mean, or mirror, or whatever you have. But yeah, the mirror modifier is what it's called here in our favorite program, Blender. How do you print your... Okay, hi Nico. Hello. Uncle, I'm really serious about modeling, but it's just so tiring and boring. Do you have any advice and tips, man? I'm so lost. Yeah, this comment was the last stream, the stream before that, the same comment. The guy is just copying and pasting it. So it's amazing. But as I said, if you're tiring and boring, sculpting is not for you. Or modeling, it's not for you. Find something else. Cleaning toilets, for example, maybe much nicer and more exciting for you. It could be. I'm just saying. There are a lot of jobs that are not including 3D if 3D is boring. For me, 3D is everything but not boring. So that's why I was able to put the time and effort to become relatively good. By the way, I'm not the best. Many people say Nico is the GOAT and everything. It's absolutely not true. You cannot think that even. There are so many very good artists. I am a relatively good artist. I'm a relatively good teacher, also not the best though. But I'm trying to be funny at least, so yeah. Some teachers, maybe good teachers, but they are a little bit boring, and that's a problem. A good teacher should not be boring, at least. In my opinion, of course. That's why I'm trying to be not boring. Sometimes trying a little bit too hard and starting to talk about shit, masturbation, politics, while I'm teaching, which is, of course, not the best, but I think it's a little bit better than just be silent. Many people will say it's not, but for me it's It's better, right? So yeah, that's my way of thinking. So about Trump and masturbation, if we have to combine those topics, uh, do you guys think that he actually masturbates? I think that he probably never do that because he's so self-centered and so loving himself that he probably wants somebody else to do this for him. And he's also rich and powerful. Why should he bother doing it by himself, you know? There will always be somebody who is willing to do it for him. Like all of his cabinet members, of course, and Fox News, yes, and others. I'm sure that they are happy to do it for him. Amazing stuff, right? We're talking about interesting and professional things. Show the commission, please. I will show you, maybe. Sculptors are cooked. Who knows? If I retopo a face, okay, uncle, okay. Comments which are, you know, repeating themselves, which is kind of a spam, but we'll see. Hi, Camo from South Africa. Camo from South. I'm trying to bake an armor, but it gets weird on the outside edge of the mesh. Any tips since your last course character has had an armor? No, you have to just make sure your high poly and low poly are close together as possible, as close as possible. And then it's about testing, and you know, there will always be problems, but testing, making errors. In the beginning, when I was starting doing retopology and baking, sometimes I would bake a model for like hours and hours because it doesn't work, and you have to, you know, test some other things. Nowadays, it's easier because we have Substance Painter, and you can see your low poly, you can see your high poly, especially in the newest versions of Substance Painter, which is great. Back in the days, we were baking with XNormal, and XNormal is a program, just text program. You cannot see any mesh there. You just upload your meshes, the low poly, the high poly, if you have some kind of cage, and you pray for the best. So nowadays it's easier, much easier. Don't worry, I will buy all your courses from my first paycheck. Okay, thank you very much. That will be great. Although, if your first paycheck will not be enough for you to live on from, don't bother. I mean, maybe later when you have more money and stuff, maybe then you can buy some of the courses. And not all of them, because why should you buy all of the courses if you don't need them, right? Yeah. If you need some course, you buy the course and it's fine. Okay, we have a decent body, I would say, not super bad. And this actually, as you know, will be our weekly sculpting challenge. The last one was a little bit of a disaster because I just posted some AI picture of myself as a pirate in the Discord server, as probably most of you know, and there was a backlash. People were not respectful for the AI pirate, and they were doing some crazy stuff. But again, it's whatever makes you happy. If you don't want to sculpt, you want to make fun of other people, or you want to try to be funny and everything, it's absolutely fine. Maybe this will get you a job in the funny industry. But for the game industry, usually you should be able to sculpt. So my advice is to concentrate more on sculpting and less on being a funny guy. And maybe, you can be both, actually, as you can see. You can be both. You can be the guy who tries to be funny and also to be able to sculpt relatively well, also me. So you can do that. But only one thing is also possible. But for the game industry, the sculpting is better. I mean, try to be the wise guy is not so. They don't search for that kind of people too much in the game industry. They don't search for any people these days too much, but whatever. It's just the state of the whole thing, I guess. The state of the world we live in. This came out pretty well. Okay, let me answer some more questions a little bit. Do you know about Nomad Sculpt? Of course I know about Nomad Sculpt. I'm using it sometimes in my phone. If 3D is boring for you, you'll learn programming. Yeah, of course. Namaste, everybody. Is Sri from Bharat. Everybody say hello to Sri from Bharat. He's here, or she, I don't know, probably is he. When he said brother, probably he means, probably is a him, yeah. I have a couple of your courses and I can say that you're definitely not a boring teacher. Thank you very much. He just PD'd his parties. Yeah, Trump goes to all kind of parties. He goes to Epstein parties, PDD parties, and all kind of parties. All kind of wrong parties, I guess. Vance definitely does it. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not only him. The other guy who was back in the day, now it's a defensive secretary or whatever. He was a TV host in Fox News. So from TV host in Fox News, since he's a great ass licker, he became a defense secretary of the state, of one of the most powerful militaries in the world, probably the most, from a TV host. So he has a very good kind of a practice and professional way of thinking about those things. Amazing stuff. It's I mean, USA now is an example of some absurdity that I cannot even start to describe. It's so absurd, it's not even funny anymore. I don't know. It's absurd. It's starting to get from the greatest democracy, from the protector of democracy of the world, he's starting to get the greatest dictatorship. Now he's silencing some TV hosts. He's suing some newspapers for telling the truth, for stating the facts, because he doesn't like that. Although his social network, the Trump I mean, is Truth Social, which is so the hugest absurd that I've ever seen in my life. Trump social network to be called Truth Social. Wow. This guy, I mean, amazing. But whatever, it's amazing. Привет, отличного стрима. Yes, it was very nice stream until I started talking politics, right? I know, guys. I know. I'm sorry. Sometimes I just need to let it out because it's kind of bugging me a little bit. Should everybody just be working on hands? Just really be working on hands? I don't know if you like to work on hands. Nico is currently streaming from his laptop because he's on vacation. That's why he looks like that. Yes, I know. I know, Sri. I know that that is true. And I'm using AMD laptop. This is AMD laptop with a very good processor, 12 cores. Individual artists generally prefer erotic games with stories for the gaming industry and erotic games. And I think this one will to learn money than deserve. Huh? I'm male brother, of course, yeah. Здравствуйте, Nikolai, I see you are on vacation. Yeah, as you can see, on the summer, when summer comes, I am mostly on vacation. I am on the seaside, I am on the rural areas with the houses. I don't like to stay in the city too much, in Sofia, in the capital, when it's summer, because it is kind of a time to relax, to go to but I'm still streaming, as we can see. Protector of democracy, of course. Hey Nico, how did you like the last championship boxing match? I haven't seen Usyk versus Dubois was, yeah, but I, of course, I saw that Usyk again won, so it's fine. I like it. So much money from Udemy. Yeah, so much money from Udemy. and I'm going to vacations all the time. And I'm eating diners all the time because it's expensive to go to restaurants. But dinner, amazing stuff, I like it a lot. Dinner kebab, you know, amazing. The Turkish guy, they know what I'm talking about. Also the Arabic guys, I think they know. And also all the European guys also know, because in all the European cities you have dinner nowadays. So also in Japan, I've seen in Tokyo, in the center of Tokyo, they have also dinners there. So it's everywhere, and it's cheap and very tasty food. Also not that bad. I mean, it's much worse to eat in McDonald's or KFC than to eat a dinner from the street, because the meat is meat, the potatoes are potatoes, and the vegetables, there also are vegetables, real ones, not some artificial ones. The reason I ask about hands is the AI situation. It seems to be the tool that everybody using now. Just the hands, it doesn't really do well. It doesn't really do well anything character related nowadays. It can do basically some basic stuff. But you see, there are some situations where AI is shining a lot. Some concepts are coming well, very well. But most of the time, when I want to do something for a concept that I have chosen, for example, it doesn't work quite well at all. So it's not that good yet. We have to wait and bleed. You can see. So now we're wait and bleed. All right, legs. I don't know. Maybe we should do this kind of braids. I still don't know how they call them. Braids. But we have to do them because they are part of the overall experience, the overall troll orc experience. This is not a troll, it's an orc, yeah. So it's an orc experience. Mirror it, and then we will do this. And now let's see what we can do. Can we do like this and then a little bit? Yeah, it's not the proper way to do braids or braids, but still, I guess it will happen. It's not the best, but it'll do for us. Right here, right now, right here, right now. Because we have to do it fast, right? And for fast working, this is fine. He doesn't have quite nice eyes, but it's fine. Are you like to camping on forest-like primitive style, brother? I don't like that. Why? Because when you are on a tent, for example, you are living in a tent, you don't have actually water to wash yourself, which is also you have a lot of insects, again not the best. Also you have a lot of noises, especially when you are on some kind of a tent camp. You have a lot of people drinking late at night, and you have to go and kick their asses and stuff like this. So it's a little bit of a work, you know. I don't completely approve it, because I don't approve violence. I was on a metal festival, by the way, last week. I saw Sepultura, Static X live. Of course, not with the Wayne Static. If you know Static X, by the way, a very good nu metal band from the beginning of the century, maybe we may say. And yeah, their vocal guy, he died at some point. And now they are with another one, and he's pretty good actually. He's doing the songs pretty well. Sepultura is with another vocal. Because for me, the great songs of Sepultura were Arahata Matata and Roots and some few others, but old songs, you know. And they are from Max Cavalera as a vocal. And now the vocal is another guy. He's doing great. I mean, he's doing great again. I've seen Machine Head, not my favorite. I've seen Fear Factory, not bad. I've seen Smashing Pumpkins. This Metal Fest had a lot of great things. It was here in Bulgaria, actually. Amazing stuff. Smashing Pumpkins, by the way, if I have to be honest, amazing. Amazing songs, amazing band, everything is fine. But the lead vocal guy, so the lead guy, I don't know his name, and I don't care, because he's in my opinion, not a good human being. I don't see him as a good human being. We were raving in the concert, everything was fine, and suddenly the band went away. He stayed on the stage a little bit, and he was doing some bowing and some strange movements with his hands, and he went away, and we were expecting them to come for another song or to say goodbye, to say something, you know. No, they didn't came back at all. It was like, what? So it's all about respect. Sometimes it's just about respect, and I haven't seen respect from him at all to its viewers. So I don't like him. The Smashing Pumpkins guy, I don't like him. And some people would even say that I would like to smash his pumpkin, but I'm not that kind of guy. I told you I don't like violence, although I sometimes just want to do it. But it's normal for East European people, Russian, Serbian, Macedonian, whatever. Also for Arabic people, it's normal to have this rage inside of you because the way you were raised with slapping, you know, when you are not good, your father just slaps you and stuff like this. So amazing stuff, yeah, you know. And then it just makes you a little bit more mad sometimes. And you're going slightly mad. You're going slightly mad. It's finally happened. It's finally happened. Oh yeah, it's finally happened. I'm slightly mad. By the way, when you're doing this kind of hairs, this hair looks like this hair, looks like this hair. This is boring. So what we will do is make this hair a little bit bigger, this a little bit smaller, this a little bit longer, for example, or even shorter, will be better. A great graduation we will have. And this way, it will be more interesting. If you make them similar to each other, you will be wrong. It will not be nice. So remember that. Remember me. So you think we still have time in 3D? That's good. 3D work is kind of part of my situation. Yeah, we have time, definitely. Especially like character stuff. Nico, I want to come to Bulgaria on vacation to the seashore. Could you recommend some good place? Nowadays, by the way, the seawater in Bulgaria is one of the cleanest in Europe, which is pretty good. So it's pretty nice, and we have a very nice seaside, and I would recommend Sozopol. Sozopol is a great small city on the sea, and it has beaches, it has very nice bars, it has very nice old town with ice cream and very nice restaurants also. So it's pretty nice, Sozopol. I would recommend it. Very clean water. And the beach in Sozopol, the sand, so silky and smooth and clean, is just amazing. I like to go to Greece usually, but the sand in Greece is never that good. In Bulgaria, the sand is amazing in most places. In Greece, not so much, but it's fine. At least in Greece, the sea is calmer and cleaner. Like the calmer is the best part, actually. Do you farm grains or fruits, brother? Yes, I'm a farmer, of course. Did you get into the mosh pit? I didn't get into the mosh pit because I'm old for the mosh pit. You see, I'm a 107 kilograms, for example. I am a kind of athletic guy, but still, I don't like the mosh pit because my lower back is not in a good position. And I was standing there for hours and my lower back started to hurt me in these concerts. And the mosh pit will just finish me probably, so I didn't go there. Udo in Sofia DVD the other day. Hello from USA, early morning here. Yeah, I know. USA is early morning. Cultural integrated madness, sometimes called generational curses. Exactly. Very charismatic performer. I'm not an artist, but I'm enjoying the show. Yeah. Who is the performer? I don't know, but still, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, this is not bad, actually. This started to look good. I will not do the legs because it will be too much. It will be a little bit too much for us, but we will do coloring. Somebody asked me to do coloring in the comment of the last stream. So now we were doing the coloring as we almost always do for the streams. Coloring is easy, coloring is fun. Coloring is everything you want. Okay, this will be Sparta. No, this will be the beard. Here we will have the beard. This will be also dark in here. Why? It's easier this way. Dark. Dark as the grave. By the way, we have to put a lot of colors on the head. So we will start with that. The head is the most important thing. I will put just dark colors here and there to darken some areas. And then we will go to some other colors, like, for example, not so dark. This one. This one is not bad. We can put it everywhere. My orchid has opened the mouth a little bit more than it needs to. But I guess it's fine. No. Come on. Yeah, sometimes it's very difficult to select some meshes, especially inside some other meshes. But it's fine, we're doing it. This yellowish teeth we will have. Especially in the base of the teeth, it's always a little bit yellow. And especially if you don't brush your teeth often, it's pretty yellow to brown. Sometimes it happens. So, yeah, I advise you to kind of brush your teeth. It's the best way to keep your dental health. But of course, if you don't want to, I cannot make you. Here it will be nice to have kind of a eyeball, to put an eyeball inside. But we can actually get away without eyeball, because we are doing a stream, and it's not a problem that much. We will do just red, I said, red eyes with black insides, like this, and black outline a little bit. Yeah, it's not the worst. We can add a little bit of shadow here. And even on the teeth we can add if we can select them, yes. A little bit of shadow. In the shadow. So, yeah, Ozzy Osbourne has died since the last stream. That what happened. And it was expected when I saw him in the state that he was in his concert in Birmingham. Yeah, but I wasn't expecting him to die that soon. Whatever. In this metal concert that we were, Metal Fest, it was 3 nights. Everybody was talking about him, about how he kind of influenced their work. It was nice. They were doing some Black Sabbath stuff. Very cool. Prince of Darkness. We need more colors on the torso. Also, what we need is shadow. Shadow on the wall. Maybe not on the wall, but still. No Russian mines in water. No, we don't have Russian mines actually yet. Where are you, Nico? Which country? Bulgaria. Hello, do you use any add-ons for sculpting mode or for Retopology? I really like your workflow, by the way. No, I'm not using any add-ons. Hello, how has AI affected your work? Do you already have thoughts about a new job? No, I don't yet. The AI is not good enough. I will show you just in a minute what I think about the AI. Let me just see what we can do about this shadow here. Shadow here is some money begging for salvation. We need also depth of field. Oh, no. Ah, the cavity, yes. Cavity, it's nice for this kind of models to have cavity. Let's go with a little bit kind of a greenish green here and there, just to add a little bit more variety of our guy. And this thing I will probably make it dark, like this. Yeah. And it's done, kind of. But of course, it's not done. It's never done. It's never ever done. Now, let me just find this. Yeah, so this is the guy that I'm doing. As I said in one of the streams, the legs, except for the folds of the legs, are mostly AI done. The legs, only the legs. The torso, the armor here, everything is separately done by me. The gloves and everything. The legs, though, you see, they're one mesh up to this point, and this one mesh is done by AI. I had to do a lot of work on this AI. So I have put hours in order to kind of fix it, and it's still not fixed enough. So AI could work for maybe like reference, but for actual production, it's still not good enough. Of course, this character will not be looked at so up close, like for example, not closer than this. So that's why you will not see that these shoelaces are not the best, and some of the things here are a little bit bad, and but from normal distance, this will be for a first-person shooter, and you will shoot this guy and similar guys like him. So yeah, you probably will not see that much the problems with the AI stuff. But for the most important things, like the upper torso is more important, always. When you are close to a model like this, you will see the upper torso mostly, and the legs you will not see from this close distance. Now I'm retopologizing it. I'm up to this point. And this is 3000 triangles up to this point. We have a budget, so it's not a big issue. And I'm retopologizing by hand everything. I'm starting polygon by polygon, and I will retopologize everything. I will combine the arms and the torso at some point, especially before I have to bake it, because otherwise you will bake this kind of seam in here, which is not good. But for now, I am fine with this, and I will continue to retopologize until I retopologize the whole thing. The whole thing will be one mesh. There will be no other meshes, just one mesh, the whole thing together. Not even the head will be separated. Only thing that will be separate will be the eyeballs. The mouth will not be opening, so there will be no teeth and other stuff. So everything is just gonna be one mesh in the low poly, and that will be easier for the animators, for everybody. It will be much easier to do and simpler. For me, it will not be that simple, but for the other people after me, it will be probably simpler. He also has some colors. So yeah, this is what I'm working on right now as a freelance, and I have other freelancers, but they don't allow me to show anything, and it's not something that's worth to be shown, if I have to be honest, because I'm not doing the models, I'm doing only poses. So I am posing the characters. Actually, I didn't do the characters, they gave me the characters and I'm posing them. It's a kind of a low-level job, we can say, but they pay well. So it's fine for me, absolutely fine. Sometimes we have to do something just for the money, right? Yeah, I know. Amazing stuff. Hello, do you think if ZBrush lost its exclusive advantage of hanging tens of hundreds of millions of polygons, people would eventually move on from it? Or would artists still stick with it regardless? You see, the old artists who are used to ZBrush, they will never leave ZBrush. Why should they go to Blender, for example? They don't care. They want to just do the job. And they have the tool, which is ZBrush, and they will do it. For the young artists, though, I imagine that Blender will be more appropriate and more fun and better to work with because it's free. Nobody will ever be able to tell you or to kind of sue you or to make some kind of legal things to you if you're using Blender. ZBrush is another question. I mean, it's a paid software. If you're using it, if you're pirating it, which most people are doing, especially for home use, then you may have some issues someday, who knows. So I'm leaning more into Blender, although I still can say that ZBrush is the better sculpting software, but not by much. I mean, yeah, it's a little bit smoother sculpting experience, a little bit nicer, but as you can see, with Blender, since I'm working only with Blender these days for 3 years now, I'm working only with Blender, 3.5 years or something like this. I haven't used ZBrush since I started using Blender. It's absolutely okay to work with Blender. So I don't think that this a little bit smoother workflow with ZBrush, a little bit smoother Blender sculpting experience is worth it, the huge difference in price, because as we know, Blender is a little bit cheaper than ZBrush, which some people will say it's if you're a mathematician, it's infinity times cheaper than ZBrush, because ZBrush is costing money and Blender doesn't cost money, so it's infinity times more cheaper. You cannot say like 700 times more cheaper. No, if Blender was $1, yes, it will be 700 times cheaper than ZBrush, but it is much, much cheaper than 700 times. Let's say, for the sake of it, 10,000 times cheaper is Blender than ZBrush. It's more than 10,000 actually. It's infinity time cheaper. And it's maybe a little bit worse in sculpting. But imagine that. Blender is a much more full program. It has modeling, it has sculpting, it has shading, it has baking, it has UV mapping. ZBrush also has UV mapping actually, but doesn't matter. In ZBrush you can do some of these things, but ZBrush actually doesn't have a real render, real physical render like Blender. ZBrush is a little bit of a fake 3D program. That is what it helps ZBrush handle so many polygons, because it's not a real 3D program. No real 3D program can handle that much polygons well. Like 3D Max, Maya, Rhino, Cinema 4D, Blender, they are real programs, 3D programs, and they cannot handle this huge amount of polygons that ZBrush can. But for the sake of our work, I'm working with sometimes tens of millions of polygons in Blender, and it's working pretty well. If you see my latest course is with the Mod Night Girl, made entirely in Blender, high poly, low poly. You can see links to my courses in the description of this video, I guess. I'm pretty sure. But I think the high poly was 20 million polygons, something like that, 20 million. The low poly was 20,000 polygons, so 1,000 times less. They look almost similar. The idea is that I was able to work comfortably within Blender to create the high poly, to modify it, and to do the materials and to do everything, to bake it in Blender, because in this course I did everything in Blender. High poly, low poly, UVs, materials, baking, posing, render of the low poly, everything in Blender. So yeah, I think it's a pretty nice course. Also one of my longest courses. I think it's 50 hours, which is pretty huge. 70 or 80 videos of real-time sculpting and talking about stuff. And remember, for the first 30 videos, it's a bonus. I didn't talk politics or masturbation for the first 30 videos. So I think this is a pretty huge win for everybody. Hello, okay, hello, shadow on the face. Another cool thing in Sozopol is Ruže Ignatova's yacht. I don't know about that, but yeah, if you say so. Most people, I think, don't know who Ruže Ignatova is actually, you know. I know, but they probably don't. Static X, yes. Where I am with this? What's your favorite heavy metal band so far? I think Pantera and Metallica were one of my heavy metal, my favorites. But you see, Pantera and Metallica, they will do concerts together next year in Europe. So I'm very tempted to go to, for example, to Budapest in Hungary. They will do, Metallica will have a concert, 2 days, no repeat weekend. So first day will be one set, the next day will be another set, and they will be with Pantera as a warm-up band. Amazing stuff. I probably will go there, we'll see. But the tickets are extremely expensive. So, and also, I don't know if they already have tickets for that. But, Thanks for good words for Duner. If you're considering a holiday in Antalya, I will make sure you don't worry about Duner. By the way, I was in Antalya a couple of years ago, and I was in a very good hotel there. Amazing hotel. With the most amazing food I've ever eaten in all-inclusive in my life. It was so delicious, but in Turkey we always expect that, it's fine. The problem was that it was my first time in Turkey, it was my first time in an all-inclusive in Turkey, and it's a not very good idea to go to all-inclusive in Turkey because you eat so much, and at the end, 10 days, I was there for 10 days, I gained 4 kilograms, which I was not able to get down since. So yeah, I was a good lean guy until I went to Turkey, to Antalya. Now I am a fat pig. So yeah, amazing stuff. Turkey is amazing. Can you show the freelancer topology work? Yes. Nico, important question. What's your favorite heavy metal? Okay, we talked about that. Why don't you try VM modifiers, array, curves, etc.? I don't know why. Maybe you can. I don't know what are we talking about anymore. So you think we still have time in 3D? That's good. Yes. Nico, want to come to Bulgaria on vacation? Yes, I recommend that already. Let's see. Down, down, down. Like to talk about politics as long as it means talk now trash Trump is. How trash Trump is? Yes. Really like this kind of stylized anatomy you do. Thank you. I feel a different kind of joy in you today. Great to see. Thank you. Yeah, it's interesting. You see, I'm in a very nice place here in Bulgaria in the mountains. The air is pretty nice. Also, it's not that hot here. It's kind of very nice temperature. So yeah, nice air. You're breathing. You're sleeping well. You're drinking rakia in the evenings with parjola. Parjola is a steak. Yeah, with steaks. We have watermelons here. We have melons. We have peaches. They are very nice, very tasty, very sweet. It's amazing. I'm starting to talk like Trump actually, which is a little bit concerning, but still. Okay, let's continue with the questions or just comments. If you don't brush your teeth often, it starts being stronger and stronger. Could be. You paint directly on sculpture without UVs. Yeah, this is called vertex paint. You're painting on the vertices. So each vertex can have a color. And the more vertices you have, the more detail you can put in your model with color. It's the same in ZBrush actually, so it's similar. It's not a texture. Hello, hello. Is it vertex painting mainly using for creating material ID for texturing? By the way, I'm usually using it for that, for exactly that, for creating ID materials, for material IDs, for texturing, for easier texturing, especially in Substance Painter. But when I'm doing speed sculpts, I'm just using it to color the model so it will look a little bit more finished, although it's not. But what is that black rectangle on the screen? That black rectangle on the screen probably is OBS, but I don't know. Yeah, it's the OBS chat, but you cannot see it. I see it, but you cannot see it. I see it. You can't see it. That's why I can answer questions in chat, because I see this chat in this black rectangle and you don't. So yeah, interesting stuff. Hello Nico, we just got back from Biala, Bulgaria. You inspired me to see Bulgaria, so I took the family. They loved it. Yeah, Biala, by the way. There is a lot of villages in Bulgaria called Biala. At least 3 or 4. So you probably were on the seaside Biala, which is next to Sozopol, or next to Obzor. Not next to Sozopol, next to Obzor. And it's a pretty good place there, I guess. Hello, greetings from Turkey. Can you do sculpting tutorial for non-human creatures? Some of us have dinosaur-flavored autism. Dinosaur, you say? Yeah, maybe I can do that. But first, I have to work on my cloth and folds anatomy course. I have to do clothes course, and then I have to do the torso course, torso anatomy, human torso, and then maybe we can do another type of course. How much do they pay for topology? How much do they pay for topology? Usually they don't pay you for topology, they pay you for the whole thing. They say, okay, we need a character with retopology, with UVs, with baking, with textures, with everything. And they pay you for that. For retopology only, I don't know. What do you think about film flow? I haven't watched it, but it's amazing that a film made only with Blender, with Eevee, not with cycles even, rendered, made it to the Oscars. And I think it grabbed an Oscar even. Mr. Nico, you should start a gaming small studio. We would happily work for you for free. not many people can work for free, especially if they have to pay bills, right? So yeah. How do you recommend studying your anatomy courses? Watch and then repeat 300 times. Yeah, I guess that's pretty much correct. Watch it, do it while you watch, and then try to do it by yourself. If you can't, watch it again. Is rigging and animals easy once you do it a few times? Rigging and animating. I heard you have to weight paint manually on model. Usually, if you have to rig a model perfectly, very nicely, then you have to weight paint, which is not a huge deal. I mean, you can do it, if you do it a couple of times, you will learn how to do it. My rigging skills are small. I can rig it automatically and then just pose it, and that's why I use it for. I don't do animations. I just pose my characters for better presentation. I worked for 6 years as a freelancer in drawing, but AI replaced me. That's normal. Is there any fewer and fewer orders? Should I start learning 3D now with hope of getting a steady job? Nobody can tell you actually, because for example, the 3D AI is getting better and better. So I guess in maybe 5 years at most, maybe, it will be able to do models which can be useful. Those models can be used. But who will be able to use them? Not everybody, just the people who know 3D programs. So in the beginning especially, until you can say to the AI, I want this and this and this, make it rigged and put it in the engine and make a game with it. Until that time, you will have to know 3D programs, you will have to know how to fix some things in your model, and you know how to fix, who knows how to fix things on characters? The character artists. The other people who are not sculptors, they're not character artists, they don't know how to do it. So even if the AI starts to do amazing models, they need to be fixed like the scans. You know, when the scans came 15 or 20 years ago, when the scans started to be more common in games, people were thinking that the character artists will be extinct, will get extinct, but it was not exactly that. The scan always needs a character artist to retouch it, to make it, and to put some hours in it in order to look nice. The new Vulkan mod runs 34 million polygons on my 5-year-old GPU. Very nice. Do you know about Tata Mahindra? No. No. Thanks a lot, the detailed replay. No problem. What graphic card do you need to have to handle 10 million polygons well? I guess it's not only about graphic card, you know. To handle them in the viewport, usually it's about processor and RAM. If you have less than 16 gigabytes of RAM, then you will have a little bit of an issue. But if you have 32 gigabytes of RAM or 64 gigabytes of RAM, you should be fine. The video card is needed for rendering mostly. If you don't have a lot of video RAM, the RAM of the video card, if you don't have a lot of it, then you will have issues with rendering big characters with a lot of polygons. Nico, what's your favorite animation film? That's I don't know. I watch a lot of animations, I like them, but my favorite animation film, I cannot say. I don't know. Can you play any instrument? Actually, no, I can't. Hi, Nicole. Do you know how to make rendering look like digital art? But it's a digital art, so you shouldn't try to make it. It just looks like it, so it's fine. Blender navigation way more handy than ZBrush. It depends, but yeah. Do you cook, brother? Sometimes, yes. But not very big things. I cook just normal stuff. Just fried eggs, for example. Or omelette. Omelette de fromage. The French people will know what I'm talking about. Omelette de fromage. And also the people who watch Dexter Laboratory. In Dexter's Lab. In freelancing, do you charge per day or per project like one character? I charge always per project. Why? Because I'm fast. I don't want to charge per hour. I don't want to charge per day. I don't want to charge per any time. I charge per project, character. how much money for this character. For example, I say $2,000 for this character, for example, and that's it. I may spend on this character, let's say 50 hours or 100 hours. It's up to me. I usually spend less, so I get more money for an hour because I'm fast. But some people are not fast. They will get a little bit less money for an hour, or they will charge hourly, which will make the character maybe sometimes more expensive, but it doesn't matter. It's everybody will think to themselves. You drink tap water. Yes, I drink tap water. How do you extract like ZBrush in Blender? Like proper extract like ZBrush allows to extract from a masked area. You just masked something, then go to mask and mask extract. It's not that difficult, you know. What hardware specs would handle 10 million polygons? We already talked about this. Thank you very much. Gojira, by the way, was one of the bands that was in this this metal fest, Gojira. I haven't heard of Gojira since the first time I heard about Gojira, which is a metal band. I think French metal band. It was on the Olympic Games in France because they were opening. They were one of the bands in the opening of the Olympics, and then I heard about them. So I don't know. Some people like them a lot. Sir, I'm creating an anime character Ace from One Piece, but I'm having trouble in how I can give a sharp shadow under the neck like 2D or use the texture, but I even have to animate it. That's a pretty specific problem that I cannot solve right now. Brother, which one do you recommend? RTX cards or the GTX cards for gaming and 3D work? Of course RTX, they're much more modern and much more powerful. AI is already being used on stream game covers. 2D artists would be at risk currently. They are at risk and some of them are laid off, as we see. 150 million triangles, 64 gigabytes of RAM. Yeah, problem is RAM, exactly. Why camera is blurry? Because it's my laptop. Let me clean it a little bit, but still, it's the laptop camera, it's very, very bad quality. Uncle, how do I improve? It's so boring. Yeah, it's the same guy. How many times did you watch Terminator 2 as a kid? 3, 4, not much more than that. Hey Nico, while making a character that takes long time, should I still practice anatomy daily at the same time? Also, do you ride a motorbike? I wish. I'm riding sometimes a scooter in when I go to Asia, to Thailand for example. We rent a motorbike, which is a scooter, and we ride with it, and it's very nice. I like it a lot. But in Bulgaria, it's not very easy to ride a motorbike. Also, it's nice to have a garage, and I don't have, so I don't. And do you need to practice anatomy while you're working on a freelance or just a character that you make? I guess it will help, but you don't need to. I mean, concentrate on your character. When you finish it, if you still think you need more anatomy studies, which you will need, I need also, you just do some. If a character has many clothes, should you retopologize them as one single mesh, or will that cause problems with creating the folds? No, you can retopologize them as the whole mesh, especially if the character will be not taking those clothes off. So if the character will wear only these clothes and nothing else, so it's just one mesh with the clothes and everything is fine. Nico has 3.5 5-hour courses. She's one I follow with a few weeks. I don't have 5-hour courses. I think my shortest course should be around 7-10 hours, something like this. Hi, are there plans to continue a human anatomy tutorial series with the missing parts? Currently there's heads, arms, legs, but no torso. Exactly, a torso will be spring next year. Also, I didn't pirate it, so please thank me for my services. Thank you for your services. Asking for it, you know. You have to thank me because I did not pirate your courses, you bastard. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. How much does distant modelers and sculptors make monthly? If you're interested in that, usually you will not be able to become a distant sculptor or modeler because your only motivation is money. Usually, people who are very good, their motivation is because they like it. They're not bored. It's not boring for them. It's fun to sculpt. It's fun to model. It's fun to do something in 3D, to rotate it, to see it from all sides, to make something from nothing. It's amazing. It's artistic stuff. If you think only about money, just do something else. It's fine. Nico, do you think it's worth focusing on fashion and garment design in 3D portfolio? If you like it, focus on it, yes. How many years did it take you to reach this level at sculpting? I am sculpting since 2010, I think. So 15 years since I started sculpting. I was this good in 2016, 17. So it took me around 6 to 7 years, something like this. Do professional artists use base meshes for game models? Yes, they use base meshes. If you know Blockout but don't want to do that, and where can you find good base meshes? The professional artists usually are using base meshes for their models, but they're making base meshes by themselves. They're spending time to make a female base mesh, male base mesh, thin male, thin female, a little bit thick male or muscular male. So a couple of base meshes, and when they have a task, they're taking this base mesh and doing it. That's how the professional artists are doing because it's faster. For me, I'm also professional, but I'm a different kind of professional. I don't like to use base meshes because it will take away my most favorable part of the sculpt, which is the beginning, which is when you are starting from sphere and you're doing the base forms, the base shapes, and just in a couple of minutes from sphere you are getting a monster which looks like this, what you're seeing on the screen right now. So this is the best for me. Rigging all your characters model. Good. I want to do character sculpting like dinosaurs but can't find any courses on it. I'd buy one from you, Nico. So there are no courses for dinosaurs, you say. Maybe we should do one. By the way, dinosaur is a little bit boring to do because it has a lot of details. I don't like to do too much details. So it has a lot of things. So the main shapes, muscles and the shape of the skull and everything, it's fine. But when you start doing this kind of little scales and stuff, it will get a little bit too much. How do you imagine the future of gaming? I imagine the future of gaming the following way. So AI, AI will be able to make a game, custom game for you. You will have to just explain to the AI what kind of game you want. I want a game which is similar to Skyrim, for example, but with better graphics, with much more quests, many more quests, and with the storyline of The Wheel of Time, for example, from Robert Jordan. The book Wheel of Time, if you don't know, is one of the much famous books. Also, it has a TV series which they cancelled. They made at least 2 seasons or 3, and they cancelled it. It was not as good as the books, but whatever. So, I want a game. I tell today, I want a game similar to Skyrim, better graphics, with the storyline of The Wheel of Time. And it will make a game for you in the future, probably. And you will be able to play this game, be in the world, and it will change the game as you go. It could change the game. And also when you go to a certain NPC, it will not be rigged. So it will not be with the same things that will say to you. It will react as you react with it. You will be able to talk with it like you talk with the AI right now. You can talk with Grok, you can talk with ChatGPT. You will be able to talk with each NPC the same way as you talk to a real person. It will give you a quest. Some will not give you a quest. It will be a random quest. Maybe the second time you play this particular game, it will be a different quest. It will be just very, very much not scripted. Almost anything will be, nothing will be scripted. It will be just super free game to play. It will be amazing. I guess, yeah. This is the future of gaming. Any suggestions for a good hard surface sculpting tutorial? Doing characters and then stuck when doing armor because sculpt hard surface in Blender is so hard. It's not hard. You can check out my latest course, which is exactly for armored character. So she has many pieces of armor, and I show a lot of hard surface stuff there. How do you know when to use triangles in a mesh during retopology? When I'm I can put triangles everywhere, almost everywhere. You know, for a game model especially, you can put triangles wherever you want. Almost wherever you want. Almost whenever you want, or whatever you want. I don't know. Everywhere you can put them, except I restrain myself of putting them in places which are gonna be in motion. Like here around the mouth, around the eye, around the eyes, and also but in other places you can put them. Even here you can put some triangles, it depends. The triangles are not a problem anymore in the game meshes. But if you're making a mesh for movies, for an animated movie, and this mesh has to be subdivided at least once, so it's smoother, then triangles will be a little bit of a problem. So it's a little bit more problematic. They always talk about the future of gaming, but at the end of the day, people still mostly play 20-year-old games like Counter-Strike. Yeah, I know. But we are talking about future, right? Why do I feel like AI will face some legal issues in the future and will get sued or cancelled? They're trying. Now, Disney, you know, is trying to sue the AI, but what will happen, we don't know. I'm here to learn how to make an asset and still learning. We're all learning, always. We're learning until we die. That's normal. Brother, do you like open world games? I mostly like open world games, actually. So Skyrim, Fallout series, even the first Fallout and the second Fallout were kind of open world games. Of course, many people will not like them now. For me, Fallout 1 and Fallout 2 are amazing games. I love them so much, but this is because I have the nostalgia. I have played them. I have so much fun with them back in the days. Now Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 4, amazing games, of course. And that's it, yeah. Skyrim. Yeah. Hello Nico from Israel. When are you coming to Jerusalem? Nowadays I hear it's not the best time to visit this place, this world, these particular countries, you know, Israel, Iran, not the best place to be right now. So maybe someday, when everything is more peaceful, since I still want to live a little bit, at least, until 80, 85 maybe, why not? Computer automatically converts anything to triangles while calculating. Yes, yes, exactly. So guys, thank you very much for being here, watching. I'm not sure how many people have watched this. Around 100 people, which is great. Buy my courses. If you don't buy them, at least watch them from the torrents to learn something and to tell me how I'm doing. It's nice. And yeah. Bye for now, guys. And we will see what happens. Next week, we will do at least one stream and maybe ArtStation reviews. Not many people like them, but we can do it. We'll see. See you later, alligators.